You should see what I'm doing while I'm talking to you. I'm also holding my dog's bully stick. Especially since he's been really sick this week. And we're hoping he pulls through. The vet said there's a chance he might not, so it's been a really hard week for us. But I often find that in life, challenging things and exciting things happen hand in hand. And this is definitely one of these weeks, because this week, my book finally goes live. For those of you who've been following my YouTube channel for a while, you know that I wrote the book, Journey to the Ecstatic Self, a workbook for settling into your skin, cultivating authenticity, and reconnecting with your radiant self. It's a project that I've been working on since February. It's something I'm very, very proud of. So I thought I would take today during launch week, because the book comes out on Wednesday, November 18th, 2020. I hope you check it out, buy a copy, download, leave a review on Barnes & Noble or Kobo or Amazon, Goodreads, wherever you like to leave reviews and read books. No, please. So I thought I'd share with you a couple of the impetuses for why I created this book. Back in the beginning of the year, I was on a work trip and I ended up having a really deep heart-to-heart conversation with someone who would become a good friend, a colleague of mine. He is a gentleman in his latter half of life, I'd say probably early to mid-60s. A gentleman who has been married numerous times. You're done with it? No more? He's slinking off now. No, you had enough? My role as a bully stick holder is complete, apparently. Married several times, has a few kids, came out to me. And I realized, wow, as much as we as a society have grown and created an era of tolerance and acceptance, and you can be whoever you want to be, it's still challenging for people to own their sexual identity, their gender identity, their orientation. And I would like to be able to provide resource for individuals to help to come to know themselves better in whatever way they feel is authentic to them. Then a second thing came into play. A mentor of mine has been nudging me to move into doing spiritual life coaching work. And I thought, okay, well, if I'm going to head that direction, I really should have something that gives me a lens of credibility. Like I should have a book. And then also for people who might want to work with me, but maybe aren't ready to take that next step, or maybe can't afford it, to give them a resource that says, hey, in the meantime, check this out. And I think that the book does that exactly. Like, I think this is either in paperback or hardcover. Like, I think this is a beautiful workbook for you to be able to dive into some deeper questions about who are you? What do you want? How are you organizing your life in a meaningful way that gives you fulfillment? Are you expressing yourself in the best way possible? Are you feeling fulfilled? Are you feeling happy? If not, what can we do about it? The third thing that inspired this book is the Indian holiday of Mahashivaratri. It's a holiday dedicated to the Lord Shiva, the great meditator yogi in the Indian spiritual traditions. Mahashivaratri is traditionally celebrated by at least 24 hours of fasting and hundreds and thousands of Shiva mantras and pujas and offerings. So I went to bed on the night of Mahashivaratri and I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning, wide awake with this idea for a book downloaded in my head. I got up, started frantically writing, finished around 5 o'clock in the morning with about 3 chapters penned, and by the end of the week, I more or less had a first draft ready to go. And of course, I continued to develop it over the coming weeks and months, but the germ, the seed of this idea was already there. And so I very much view the reason for this book coming into existence was very much a sort of energetic blessing, a sort of download from the universe. So that's kind of the genesis of where this book came from. For those of you who know a little bit more about my story, you know that I wrote a different book 2 years ago. My first book was a fantasy novel about homophobia and bullying called Bondi, a teenage half-dragon character who's bullied for not being fully human and discriminated against, and him learning to own his own power. And I spent a year working on this book and refining it and collaborating with an editor, and sent it out to over 200 literary agents and got a couple who wanted to read the full manuscript, but nobody wanted to pick it up. And I felt heartbroken. I felt devastated, feeling like I poured my heart and soul and my history of trauma into this thing, and it mattered to no one. So that book ended up getting shelved, and I went and started writing short stories and essays, but then this happened. This book, I felt like, you know what, I'm not going to go through the heartbreaking process of trying to get literary agent. I'm just going to put this out there, and especially with my desire of this serving as a tool for my coaching practice, I don't need the validation or the stamp of approval that comes from having a more traditional literary career. So might as well do it myself. And so I did. I got an editor on board, the same editor I worked with Bondi, got a couple proofreaders, hired this awesome cover designer. He's based in the UK. I think he did a fabulous job. My typesetter came from Eastern Europe, and he did some really beautiful work creating some really gorgeous internal layouts in the book, really making it feel special. Got a bunch of beta readers who agreed to help read it and provide feedback, submitted it to different reviewers, and I've been getting some really stellar reviews out of that. And it's been a challenging process. There's been many steps of going back and forth with this book, where like I got my first round of books from the printers, actually all the ones back there that you only see the spines of, and they came back printed horribly, they're non-usable. Like this thing had been working for so long on, and you get the final product and you're like, oh shit, that sucks. And having to go back and forth for weeks. Like I only finally got this approved final copy like 5 days ago. But it's been a labor of love for me. And especially in this time of a pandemic, where so many of us have lost the things we normally love to do, lost work, right? Like I'm no longer traveling the world doing my corporate coaching work. Now I'm doing one-on-one life coaching, which I ultimately love so much better. But you know, regular paycheck out the window. In this time of a pandemic, to have something that not only inspires me, but that I feel like I am so proud of, and something I probably wouldn't have had the time or the stamina or energy to do if I were in my normal flow of things and, you know, leading in-person workshops 3 or 4 days a week somewhere across the country or across the globe. So my goal is for this book to be a resource, a gift for people, to help them come into wholeness, to help them continue on their journey. Very much what I try to do with this YouTube channel, which is provide something of value for marginalized voices and for the community of which I'm a part, and to leave something that will be of worth for others. If you would like to join us on Wednesday night, there's going to be a launch party, both on YouTube, we'll do it live, and on Zoom, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. If you would like to register for the Zoom event, you can get the login info from the community tab here on YouTube, or go to my Twitter or Facebook page and you can find it there under Ecstatic Self. I would love for you to partake. I'm going to be interviewed, we're going to do Q&A, I'll do a live reading from the book, and I have a special thank you gift for people who attend. This has been such a labor of love. I'm so excited to finally get to share this with you. I hope that you enjoy it. Please do get a copy. Please recommend it to someone else who you think might be struggling in their own lives to come into wholeness and fully accept themselves. And know that we are all on our journey towards ecstatic selfdom, towards oneness, towards achieving our best possible life. And I am honored to walk a few steps with you along the way. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoy Journey to the Ecstatic Self, and I look forward to talking to you more soon. See you Wednesday night, hopefully. Namaste. Have you ever thought, I don't want to be me. I would literally rather be anybody else. If so, maybe you're just like me. I became an actor to become other people. I moved into an ashram to escape my humanity. I wanted to become perfected, untouchable, pain-free. I wanted to become anyone but me. If you're like I was, then join me on a journey, an adventure of coming back into wholeness by exploring our shadow sides, our stories, our dreams, our memories. We will excavate the truth of our identities. We will reconnect with our innate wisdom, our sense of self-love and compassion, our sacredness. We will find our true selves. So if this journey interests you, a journey of coming into wholeness, then lace up your boots, grab the hand of a climbing partner, for we have some beautiful landscapes to explore. It's a journey back to you. A journey to your ecstatic self.